What's going on everybody, it's me, Mr. Reason, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing another, well, either it's another one or it's the first time me doing this, but we're going to be doing a WWE update slash news events. I'm not going to do these often, but whenever I feel like it, I will get the camera out, I will place it down, and I will talk about events that have been going on once Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live has happened, because events could change and incidents can happen. So I want to wait until both shows are over and then talk about it, because we're not going to talk about NXT because we all know NXT gets major spoils, because it happens like a week before they show the episode, I believe, and I get spoiled anyway. Like, major spoiler alert in case you ever know. Aleister Black is back. And we might be getting Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream, but we're not going to be talking about them, no. Monday Night Raw and Tuesday SmackDown Live just happened. We're going to be talking about the events that I think are sort of ridiculous, some serious events as well, and some things that I just find ridiculous. First thing we're going to talk about, I do want to say some of these are not 100% true, but because they've been like sort of leaked and they might possibly be happening, I'm going to give my opinions on them, because why not? So the first thing we're going to be talking about, Ronda Rousey, WrestleMania 35. We might be getting Ronda Rousey versus Cyborg, which they're both UFC fighters. We might be getting both of them at WrestleMania 35. Ronda Rousey is currently the Raw Women's Champion, which pisses me off immediately, because there are so many other women on the roster right now that deserve that title more than Ronda Rousey. They're basically making it, let's make the actual women in the WWE irrelevant and make it all about the UFC fighters. That will work out. That's a brilliant idea, Vince McMahon. You might as well lick their own clit. We might be getting Ronda Rousey versus Cyborg at WrestleMania 35, which 100% they do not deserve. We don't want to see that match, honestly, because it's just stupid. They're gonna make it about the UFC fighters more than the actual women on the roster, which, if you're an actual WWE fan, you won't like, but you'll be willing to give it a chance, which I will be giving it a chance, because Ronda, even though I don't like her in the WWE, I can at least say that I'm actually very impressed with her in ring abilities, and the fact that she's not sort of a part, well, I'm not really sure. She is, but she isn't at the same time. She competes on Raw quite a bit, not often, but quite a bit when she's told to, and then she defends her title when she's told to, unlike a certain other UFC superstar that we know, Brock Lesnar, who doesn't compete at all, as we all know. But if that does happen, then fair enough, I'll give it a chance, but I won't like it really unless the match proves to be absolutely amazing. But that's just a rumour so far. We don't 100% know, because it's way too early to tell. It's still September. WrestleMania is until next year in April. March, April-ish. So it's way too early to tell what's going to happen between Ronda Rousey. She might still have the championship then, she might not, I'm not really sure. But we're going to wait and find out. The second thing I want to talk about is the incident on Monday Night Raw. Now, I do want to say this right now. I'm not really going to put the blame on anybody, but I am going to have to say this was pretty bad to look at. In case you don't know, Liv Morgan has been diagnosed with a concussion, and if you don't know what happened, during the 6-women match between the Riot Squad, Brie, Nikki Bella, and Natalia, I believe, Liv Morgan suffered a pretty serious knee to the face, or should I correct myself, 2 knees to the face. Brie Bella was doing the yes kicks, copyright infringement, and the last 2 kicks are connected to Liv Morgan, struck her in the face rather than like the chest area where it normally connects. It struck her in the face. It was pretty hard to tell when I rewatched it, but when I rewatched it and I put it in slow motion, the third final kick before the two kicks connected to her face, Liv Morgan may have like had her head. I can't really describe it. Her head moved a little bit more forward than normal, and Brie Bella may have kneed her in the face twice. The first one didn't knock her out. Well, kind of. It made her, dizzy. And then the final one, she was just knocked on the floor. She was able to continue the match for a few more seconds before the doctors came round and they had a look at her. And she was recently diagnosed with a concussion, which is put in the Super Showdown 6 women tag match in jeopardy. Because, I mean, as if I cared about the match in the first place. But it sucks for Liv Morgan. It sucks for Liv Morgan because I'm not really the biggest fan of her, but for her to suffer an injury live on television like that, it's pretty bad. It sucks for her. I'm not a fan of many women in the roster, but I am going to say that I do feel like I don't want her to suffer an injury. She did suffer an injury, concussion. Was diagnosed with one, and it sucks to anyone that gets injured live on television like that, and they're forced to not continue the match like she was. She went to the backstage. Brie Bella apologized, and the rest of the Riot Squad, they weren't really a fan. They didn't really like what happened in the ring. But here's the thing: you can't really control what happens in the ring. You've got to go on. Liv Morgan wasn't able to continue, and I really don't blame her for not continuing because, a concussion, getting striked in the knee twice, legitimately, mind, is a very serious case because it hurts. It hurts a lot. You feel dizzy, you don't think you can move. I mean, she was barely able to stand, and it sucks for Liv Morgan. But I am going to say, Brie Bella, she needs to stop wrestling in the ring until she, trains a little bit more. She needs to go back to the performance center or back to wherever she trained, and she needs to work on her in-ring abilities because she botched a move. I think it was last week or the week before, doing a suicide dive or something like that. I'm not sure if it was Brie. It may have been Nikki. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the twin sisters botched a suicide dive and then botched a kick in the face twice. So Brie Bella needs to go back to the performance center. I'm not really going to put the blame on anybody because it's really hard to tell if Brie Bella's knees were a bit too high and she was, kicking too fast, or if Liv Morgan moved her head a little bit more because the first kick that didn't knock her out fully, it did seem like her head was a little bit out of position, sort of. But when I think about it, I do think that Brie's knees connected to Liv Morgan. The first kick, anyway, definitely hit her in the face, and then she was stunned. She moved forward a bit, and then the last kick to Liv Morgan definitely finished her off. So it may have been Brie's fault. I'm not 100% sure, and I would have to look at the footage to get a 100% confirmation. See whose fault it is. But it sucks for Liv Morgan now that the match at Super Showdown is at risk. And it just sucks in general, really. SmackDown Live, however, let's talk about SmackDown Live. Nothing much happened. A very interesting storyline between Rusev and Aiden English, as well as Lana. That's gonna be fun. Samoa Joe invaded AJ Styles' home. I say invaded. He went there, rang the doorbell, and then left, and that ended the show apparently. Which is alright, I guess. Nothing too exciting happened. But those are the two major incidents. Well, the Liv Morgan incident is the one that's probably going to be most talked about this week. And the first Ronda Rousey situation I was talking about earlier, I just added that in because like it's gonna be 100% stupid if they make it just about the UFC women in the WWE rather than the actual women in the WWE, even though I hate some of them a lot. But even then, the women that you hate, they deserve at least a bit more time and a little bit more TV time, and hell, even a few more matches rather than these UFC women fighters that are coming over to WWE. They're getting special treatment. I mean, look at what happened to Ronda Rousey. I mean, she had like what, one of the best matches this year at WrestleMania, which was good, and then she immediately gets a push as the women's champion on Monday Night Raw, which is absolutely pathetic. But I can't complain. It happens, and you can't go back in time and prevent it from happening. So yeah, that's just my opinion anyway. That's all I have to say regarding this video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button, possibly share it with a family or relative. And if you also need a channel, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. Make sure to check the description below for my Instagram and Twitter. I'm always active on Instagram. Some more active on Twitter, but I'll respond to you anyway. Yeah, it's been the best season. Let me know what you thought about this situation. I'll see you all later. Whenever.